Back in 2011, Brooke and I were looking to upgrade our Toyota Matrix to better pull our pop-up trailer. So we went to a VW dealer looking for a Jetta wagon and found a heavily discounted base model Tiguan, which would prove to be a great towing vehicle. The reason this thing was on sale so cheap was that it had a 6-speed stick shift and no one was interested in picking it up for a song. Neither of us had driven a standard car at that time, though I had ridden plenty of standard motorcycles, but we bought that Tiguan and drove it for many years and many miles, including a camping trip clear across the continent to California. And we still remember it as the most engaging car we ever drove. It's hard for your attention to drift when you have to work a clutch and shift gears. It's weird because I had never seen an automatic transmission until I arrived in Canada from Poland in 1984. Back in Europe, all cars were standard at the time, and even today, a far greater proportion of them still are. It is very rare to see a stick shift in North America these days, and it has been that way for quite a while. And while the vast majority of motorcycles are still standard, can what happened to cars happen in the motorcycling world? Honda, BMW, Yamaha, and KTM are betting on it, and are or will soon be offering automatic transmissions on their motorcycles. How will that affect sales and the experience of riding? Stay tuned. And as always, if you're enjoying the content, please consider supporting this small channel by subscribing, liking this video, and sharing it with friends. Most scooters already come with automatic CVT transmissions, as does the least expensive new motorcycle sold in North America, the Honda Navi. I've tested a few of these and they are uninspiring. These vehicles are utilitarian in design and aimed at the rider who will use them as a practical mode of transportation. In many countries, they serve the same purpose as the family car does in the Western world. So the fact that these continuous automatic transmissions don't deliver excitement doesn't matter too much. In some of its mini-motos, Honda also gives us its semi-auto transmission, which basically allows for clutchless shifting. Again, while convenient, a bike like the semi-auto Super Cub is considerably less exciting than the standard Grom or Monkey, despite sharing the same engine. You can rip pretty aggressively on the Grom and the Monkey, but the CVT and semi-auto transmissions are not what you would put in a big, powerful bike. On those, you want something like Honda's DCT dual clutch system, which I tested on the Africa Twin Adventure Sports and the 2 versions of the Rebel 1100 on this channel. Check out those videos in the top right corner. And now we have news that the new BMW R1300GSA Adventure will come with an automatic gearbox. Yamaha is introducing its own YAMT system, which, like the Honda DCT, will offer the rider a choice between fully automatic and push-button shifting, and KTM has recently released a teaser of what looks like its upcoming 1390 Adventure R and made a point of showing a clutchless handlebar. And of course, Honda has been pushing this technology for a while and offers it on the Africa Twin Adventure Sports, Rebel 1100, Rebel 1100T, the Goldwing, and the NC750X. Why are some of the world's biggest manufacturers suddenly jumping into the fray with automatic bikes when up till now Honda has been the only one trying to popularize the technology? Well, Honda must know something. They are the world's largest motorcycle manufacturer by far and must have a pretty good research team studying market trends and customer preferences, and they must see some serious advantages in automatic transmissions. One of the biggest is that the average age of motorcycle riders is creeping up, and older riders may be more prone to having arthritis in their hands, which means they don't want to be sitting in traffic or at lights holding in the clutch. Most riders also live in cities, and stop-and-go traffic is exactly where automatic transmissions make the most sense. I used to love my stick shift, but not when I was stuck in traffic on the Gardiner Expressway in Toronto. Having personally tested the Africa Twin Adventure Sports DCT off-road, I can point out another advantage of auto transmissions. You can't stall these bikes on the trail. In off-road situations, you often hit short, steep climbs which can cause a stall, but not on the Africa Twin DCT. It shifts down automatically rather than bogging down, which also frees the rider to concentrate on choosing a good line and guiding the bike without also having to worry about what gear he's in. Another advantage that I noticed on the Africa Twin DCT was the insane fuel mileage. I actually got almost 600 kilometers out of a 25-liter tank, and the tank wasn't empty yet. It could have gone further, I just lost my nerve. I remember the days, maybe in the 90s, when you could get better gas mileage out of a standard than an automatic car. But the autos improved quickly and those days are long gone. Modern auto transmissions are more efficient, and that goes for motorcycles as well. Which doesn't mean that they're short shifting all the time. Put the Rebel 1100 in sport mode and the transmission holds that gear until the bike is roaring and wants to jump out from underneath you. When the shifts happen, they're so smooth and quick that they don't affect traction even when fully leaned over in corners. Plus, you can still put these in manual mode and shift with buttons, so you're shifting when you want to. Finally, automatic transmissions lower the bar of entry for new riders because they give noobs less to worry about as they concentrate on bike handling skills. However, this would make more sense in a starter bike rather than apex motorcycles like the R1300GSA, Africa Twin Adventure Sports, or the 1390 Super Adventure R. Which brings us to the disadvantages of auto transmissions in motorcycles, and there are definitely a few of those. The number one being, a lot of riders simply don't want them. Motorcycling in the West is a hobby, and people do it to feel engaged and linked to their machine. And the clutch gives the rider more control of the bike. Want to clutch up a wheelie? Can't do it on an auto, but the real difference appears off-road. Yes, the auto bikes won't stall up steep hills, but as anyone who rides dirt knows, the clutch is crucial to effective slow-speed off-roading. When I'm riding single track, I generally pop the bike in second or third depending on what single track and modulate my speed with my clutch. This is done by keeping the throttle steady but pulling in the clutch when you want to slow down and letting it out to speed up. Automatic transmissions on this terrain simply do not allow the rider the same level of control. Never mind if you ever have to pop up your wheel over a log. Finally, automatic bikes are heavier than their standard counterparts. Honda's DCT adds over 20 pounds. They are more expensive, which makes the already ridiculous prices of these high-end bikes even more ridiculous, and they add complexity and create another possible point of failure. More complex systems are more likely to break down, period. So despite several advantages, most current riders would not opt for an automatic motorcycle unless some physical circumstance like arthritis in their hands forced them to do so. Personally, I'm a fan of the standard gearbox. On occasion, I enjoy a quick shifter, but have not felt like I needed one on my Tenere 700. I have ridden many auto bikes and will review the new Africa Twin Adventure Sports, the one with a 19-inch front wheel soon, and I might also try the Goldwing DCT. Stay tuned for those videos. I like riding standard because of the lower weight, cost, and complexity, and I also enjoy changing gears myself, especially off-road. However, I do understand why the Honda DCT is popular and have no doubt that the new Yamaha, BMW, and KTM systems will be attractive to a lot of riders. Are you one of them? If given the choice, which gearbox would you opt for and why? Will motorcycles go the way of cars and eventually be mostly automatic? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Ride safe, and may the spokes be with you.